This is Freedom Rider coming at you again from atop the 2017 Street Glide Special. So, the topic of this vlog this morning is, why is the Street Glide Special still the motorcycle for me? Let me try and explore that with you a little bit today. Number one, looks. Yes, indeed, looks happen to be a very important thing to not only me, but to a lot of people. And I like the way the Street Glide Special looks. I like the slammed rear end, the way it angles down in the rear end. Especially with my air shocks, I can lower the rear end down if I want to, and I just think it looks good. I think it has a good look. I think it has classic lines, and I think the looks of the Street Glide Special have been largely responsible for its success, to be quite honest. Number two, stability. Yes, stability. Before I had my Street Glide, I had a Road King. And the Road King was a very stable bike. No question about it. But I could do things on the Street Glide. I don't know if it has a lower center of gravity or what, but I'm sure you'll correct me. But I can take my hands off the handlebars and ride along. And the bike is very nimble, it's very stable. You get a feeling of being planted on this bike when you're riding it. And I like that. I like that feeling. Number three, the fairing, or specifically, the batwing fairing. The batwing fairing is a very stable fairing. I think the aerodynamics are designed in, and the fairing is built for a higher speed. A lot of people don't realize that. Another thing I like about the batwing fairing is I like to be close to the fairing. I like the enclosed feeling that I get from this fairing. And I like it uptight. I feel as though I'm in a bubble. And other bikes that I've ridden that have different types of fairings, you don't get that feeling of enclosure, of being in a protected bubble. I feel like I'm in my office when I'm on this bike. Comfort. Yes, comfort. This is the type of motorcycle that you could get on one side of the country and get off on the other. If you buy a Street Glide Special, you are going to want to get rid of the stock shocks. Go to a more heavy-duty shock. But once you accomplish that, you're going to love the comfort of the Street Glide Special. Number five, the Milwaukee 8 engine. Yes, indeed. Milwaukee 8 engine. Personally, I have a 107 engine on this bike. It's got plenty of power for me, plenty of torque, plenty of horsepower, and the smoothness of this engine to me is beyond compare. I really like the Milwaukee 8 engine. I've got 45,000, pushing 45,000 miles on this bike now. And let me tell you, I've had absolutely no problems. My engine is stock for the most part. No, I didn't go with all the fancy upgrades. Personally, I think some of those fancy upgrades were the primary cause and the reason for the failure of the 107 when it first came out. No, I didn't do that. I kept it stock, and I'm glad I did. Next, range and mileage. Okay, range and mileage. Well, we got a 6-gallon tank on this bike, and I get about 43 miles per gallon. So my total range on this motorcycle is over 250 miles per tank, and I like to run my tank down close to empty before I fill it up. So I like the range. I like that capability of going 250 miles plus on a tank of gas. Next, LED lights. Yes, indeed, LED lights. Let me say one word about the LED lights. Well, 2 words. Custom dynamics. Lights are very important, guys, especially if you're traveling at night, but also during the day. And you could dress up your bike with LED lights in many different ways. And I'm a big believer in custom dynamics lights.